Bit of really right food. Bit of really right food. Huh, Al?
Why don't we find out?
Alright, so look guys, today y'all are getting blessed because we thought we were going to have a cancellation. Well, we did have a cancellation from our other guest, but we'll get him on here eventually. But luckily, shout out to Kyree Thomas. He was able to pull up on us today and get that content in for you. So we want to make sure we got you a guest. And we got you one. That's what we do. We adapt on the Mind Podcast. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we're blessed to have you here today, bro. Let them know your socials real quick too.
You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Kyree Thomas, and an underscore behind that, and then on YouTube you just put up Kyree Thomas. It's gonna say Kyree Thomas, aka KT, vlogs, reaction, things of that nature.
For sure.
And I appreciate y'all for having me too. I appreciate y'all.
Man, for real, for sure.
Glad we had to cancel.
Yeah, man. So basically, we're gonna jump into the interview. Talk to him just a little bit of a rough idea of what you kind of do with Whatssleeptv.
Okay, so yeah, I created a website called Whatssleeptv actually back in 2017. It's been that long.
How old were you then too?
I think I was 18, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 18, if I'm 18, 19, somewhere around that. But I ain't really just started working on it until like 2019. Well, actually it was the end of 2018 because I started off. It was December 2018 is when I was like, all right, I got my whole plan. Like, 'cause I had to map all that shit out.
Mm-hmm.
I got my plan, and shit, I'm just about to go with it and see what happened with it. Ever since really January 2019, I'd say that's when like I was like officially like I'm blogging for Whatssleeptv, and basically it's a Tennessee music blog. The best way that I usually explain it to people is kind of like just look at it kind of like a world star, but for Tennessee. Except, you know what I'm saying, I don't post memes and shit, it's music mainly.
So when did your first, when did you know, because you know, everybody has a lot of things that they like to do when they're younger, but when did it kind of click, it was like, no, this is what I want to do, is music?
Oh, well, see, that's what's funny. So I got my first computer when I was like 6, and shit, really since then, like 7, 8, I've been doing the same thing for, ever since I got that computer. So I downloaded FL Studio when Soulja Boy came out.
Trendsetter.
I downloaded the crack version of that, and then I made beats. So that's how I already knew a lot of rappers before I started blogging.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe somebody that I produced for that people may know that's from Nashville is Trapper Mandel. The last thing I produced was like 2016, and then I left making beats alone. And like a year and a half after that, that's when I picked up the camera and I shot my first music video for a school project. And I came up with the idea of blogging though. Like I can't remember exactly when I came up with that, but I shot one music video, but I came up with the idea of blogging. I think it's because I used to watch Joseph McFashion a lot. You know who he is. He's the owner for Show Mag and a bunch of other companies. For Show Mag is a Detroit media platform where basically all the Detroit Midwest rappers go to blow up basically. T Grizzly dropped first day out on that platform. That's what it blew him up.
For sure. So then, since you've been pretty much doing this, what's been your personal kind of favorite project or artist that you've gotten to work with?
Oh man, that's favorite artist that I got to work with. So it's this dude named My Name Cushy. Y'all familiar? Anybody familiar with him?
Yeah.
You're familiar with him, right? Yeah, Cushy. He is an artist from Nashville. You know Jelly Roll, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jelly Roll will tell you all the time, oh, who's your favorite? Oh, My Name Cushy. Yeah. He did a verse for me. I got to put together my first song back in 2021. Not me rapping. A lot of people get that confused. I'm not no rapper, but you know how Khaled will get artists, like he'll basically pick the whole beat, pick the idea of the song, and pick the artist. That's basically what I did, and I will still be doing it now, but I just can't work on that right now. But once I'm able to get back to that, I'm gonna start, pumping out more and more songs, because as I blog and as I make beats, like I just know so many great artists. I meet so many great producers. It's really easy to pick that beat and be like, oh shit, I can hear him on it, and have a fire song.
Yeah. And then one of the more inspiring things that I've seen get to know you and watch what you do is how you kind of stay authentic to the city. You don't forget about where you came from. You know what I'm saying? You put a highlight on Tennessee. And I've always said, especially in Nashville too, like there's a lot of overlooked talent here in Nashville.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we wanted to do. It's Mind Podcast. We want to make sure that we highlight this, talent in the city. We've got other people, especially now we started doing a little bit better. Shout out to all the people that be liking, subscribing. Y'all the reason we've been popping, man. So we've had some bigger people start reaching out to us, but I told my crew the whole time, even though we're doing weekly interviews, I never want to forget where we came from. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure we always highlight and bring somebody on local, because that's what a lot of people do is they make it out of their city and they forget about what happened in the city. They forget about where they came from.
I see that all the time, especially there. I know. So yeah, it's good that you know that too. As far as me doing that, I don't know. I think really a lot of times I'm just speaking on interviews.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes on music, like the people that ain't, is popping or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They'll have a better story to tell and they'll give you a better interview than somebody that's like, clouded up. A lot of these rappers like they get on an interview, be high as fuck, like they can barely answer the question. That's the shit that I hate. Like doing interviews. That's kind of why I really don't like doing interviews now. I'm doing this much.
Yeah. Especially if you don't know like that person and then like you're expecting to come and get really great content out because they do good music.
Right.
Shit is a waste of time.
Yeah.
Long story short, that's some bullshit.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, as an entrepreneur though, you do make your cheese off of it. But on the back end of it, that's some terrible ass content. Because we see the DJ Vlad shit. What's his name? DJ Small Eyes.
Yeah,
all them people. He's terrible. But anyways, all the people that all the people that got people coming on, they be on there like you said, high as fuck, off some bullshit, got the glasses on. I hate that shit, bro.
Y'all remember when Gotti asked DJ Small Eyes, you wanted a perk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't do that, bro.
I'm here working. What you mean?
What he say? I still read comments on. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I still read comments on that shit from this day. Like he really just offered him a perk, like it was like a piece of gum or something. Like what the fuck? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I didn't see that interview, but I just understand the process of how artists thinks. So I understand why he didn't care.
Yeah.
Because he's probably looking at it like, nigga, you do this shit anyways.
Right.
What, you gonna act fake on camera?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like, I get it, but on the other hand, I get the other end of like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
It's content.
It's content.
That's not professional at all, but artists, they don't think that way, you know?
Mm-hmm.
They just like, fuck it.
That's another Monday. It's like my.
But say somebody that's taking in that content and pushing it out and shit. Do you necessarily care if it's good or if it's positive or negative?
Nah, not. Because the negative shit is what get the most views anyway. Like that shit went viral. That shit you'll be on Twitter. You'll still see that clip from.
That's a damn meme now.
Yeah, that's a meme.
They'll post a video of it like in the comment. It'll perfectly fit the damn tweet.
Yeah.
It'll be some crazy shit.
Yeah.
Maybe the crazy thing about the media these days too is it's just like, damn, like you get viral for doing dumb shit, harming yourself, doing crazy shit in public, shit that when there weren't a bunch of cameras around and shit like that, you get your ass slapped for it. Like somebody really check you, you know what I'm saying? But nowadays it's cool to be lame. Essentially, that's how I look at it for real.
Same word.
So, not for sure, but yeah, man.
Boom Gang started that. Boom Gang. He started that shit. or the niggas I was like, put them in a coffin. Like them niggas, like they started that bullshit.
That was high school too, wasn't it?
Yeah. I have a fond memory of the early days in social media.
Put them in that coffin.
Yeah. It was twerk.
But I do know this, especially as someone that's in position now where like, anybody that knows me, I work my ass off for this podcast, so I know you worked your ass off to get to where you at. Tell us just a little bit of kind of like some of the struggles you had to go through in the learning process, things that you had to, push through to get to where you at today.
So the main thing is, it's funny because you mentioned it, is in the beginning, whenever I would book a lot of interviews, like a lot of them would be canceled. Like, it's just funny, like that used to frustrate me because, I set the time aside and, a lot of times they would just not say nothing, like after we'd already talked about, when and what we're going to do the interview. I had an artist that, I ain't going to say his name, but, it's really a bunch of them that, like, they did that to me in the beginning, but then later, like, it's like they hit me up and be like, let's do an interview.
Mhm.
Basically,
When they seen you popping type shit.
I guess once they seen the content it would have been beneficial for them.
Mm-hmm.
So
Attraction
that was
there.
that was probably the most frustrating thing in the beginning. Now I have to say, especially like with my situation right now, like I couldn't even tell you the last time I done an interview because before September, that's when I was diagnosed with what I was diagnosed with. I didn't even really do no interviews like that, but literally every day, even though people would know like the situation I'm going through and I really can't do interviews and don't want to, like I still get asked that every day. That's kind of frustrating, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Getting asked about interviews all the time.
Mm-hmm. And then so, I mean, with that being said, we can kind of talk a little bit about that because essentially, like, you know, we just met tonight, but
Right.
based off your character and how you kind of carry yourself, if they hadn't told me, nobody would really know. So how do you push through that? How do you have a positive mindset and basically to people that are out there that are diagnosed or going through what you're going through, what would you say to them to push through?
Thank you for that too. But honestly, I don't know, and I do hear that a lot, but what I can say is, like, I don't know, that's just always been me. Like, I try my best to not let, you know what I'm saying, even though it ain't a small thing, like, I just always try not to let things just gonna happen in life. That's just how I look at it. Like, I just always been a super happy person. And I'm not gonna lie. Like, there's been plenty of nights where, like, I've been in pain so bad. Like, even recently, like, I've been in pain so bad where, like, sometimes I just have to cry. I learned that I used to deal with super, super bad headaches. Like, I remember one time I had headaches so bad where, like, I really couldn't walk without it, like, hurting my neck so bad. It was crazy. Chemotherapy got some crazy side effects, bro. It's crazy, bro. But I remember I used to have headaches so bad to the point where I couldn't even walk. And like shit, I couldn't do nothing but cry. But I realized that I needed to let that shit out because my headache had went away for a minute. I was like, damn, what the fuck? Like as I've, you know what I'm saying, these past 6 months I've been going through all this shit, like this chemo, like I learned a lot of things about the body. The body is crazy, bro. I ain't really care about that shit before, but like it's crazy how the body works. Real.
And a lot of that can start with the mental too.
Yeah.
And I mean, in a world today where like mental health is finally starting to get some awareness on it, like it is critical. I mean, even if you're not someone who is diagnosed with a mental disorder or anything like that, the regular person has mental stuff that they go through every single day. Life is hard, you know.
Yeah, and actually to add on to that, I just thought of something too. The main thing that really helped me, like in the beginning, is, you know, when everybody first heard the news, I'm talking about my relatives and my family members, they would call me all the time and they want to talk about doctor this, cancer that, blah, blah, blah. Whole time, like, once I stopped talking, like once I told people, like, bro, I don't want to talk about this with you, that's when I noticed that my mental was better. But before then, like, the only thing that's on my mind is cancer this, cancer that. And once I just, like, cut that out, like once I just act like it doesn't, I kind of try to act like it's not there, you know what I'm saying? I try to be a regular person as much as possible. So I suggest like anybody going through like any like life-threatening disease is like the people around you, they don't need to be talking about that shit all the time because you don't want to think about it. A lot of people probably ask themselves, I know I did. It's like, why am I going through this? Like, but yeah, like, that's probably the thing that's going to help people the most. Like, you can't just sit and just think about it all the time. And what's going to help with that is, you know, the people around you, they got to talk to you, like, you know what I'm saying, talk to me about basketball, talk to me about something like that. Don't call me, you know what I'm saying, talk about the doctor or anything like
Take
that.
my mind off of this shit.
Talk about life. Don't talk about that.
That shit will really stress you out, and it did. But I stopped doing that. And my mom used to get mad at me because I have relatives that, you know, they just call and check in. But I just don't want to talk about this stuff, and she eventually, you know what I'm saying, got over it. She understood that, like, she noticed that, like, my mental is better ever since I just try to be as regular as possible. Like, besides, like, you know what I'm saying, of course I'm down to talk about it with the interview. That's part of the reason why I'm here anyways, you know, to talk about that stuff to help people that could go through it. But talking about that shit, here, like, getting over 5 calls a day talking about that shit is so frustrating, bro.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
So what did essentially kind of encourage you and because you know there's people that kind of go through and they don't tell anybody, you know, they just kind of fight their own battles. What encouraged you to be like, no, like I need to let people know and so that they can care for me?
Honestly, the reason why I did is because I know that I have a social media platform to attend to. Like, I used to post 2 to 3 times a day on Whatssleep. Release an interview clip like every other day. And then, you know, I'm doing promos every other day. I just, you know I couldn't disappear like that. I just had to let them know, like, hey, this is what I'm going through. It might be a long time before I do anything regarding Whatssleep. Really, still to this day, I really shouldn't be, but I don't want to be lazy. Like, you'll get used to that shit, for real. You'll get used to it, and once I realized that, like, I've been trying to, you know, do things like vlog or film YouTube videos and, you know, just do things surrounding Whatssleep.
Word. You got anything from my man's over here? It's your boy.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much know him, but like shit, just to ask some questions to let everybody else get to know him.
Yeah.
So, I know you mentioned for show TV. I mean, for show magazine. Yeah. So I would want to say like, what was probably your, I'll probably say biggest inspiration outside of somebody in entertainment that got you wanting to be like, I need to do something. Like, I need to put this plan down. I need to stick with some shit. You know what I mean? Like, what was actually, who was actually there for you, or what was actually there for you to make you take that step?
I probably had to say my uncle. So his name is John Thomas. You know, the pressure smoking vape shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his. You know, I guess you could say I'm a part of it. Even though right now, I mean, I don't do much, but he was the one that like really motivated me. If I'm not mistaken, like I think he's like the first millionaire in my family. And I remember like he got out of jail maybe like, I mean he got out of prison like what 5-6 years ago, and like he'll say he was completely broke, but I don't know, I don't believe it. Like just years later, like he done had about 5-6 houses in the suburbs, like in Franklin, where they have them big ass houses in Arlington. I don't know I ain't never even know that shit existed. But Arrington, I might say that.
No, you're right.
But he's probably the one that inspires me the most outside of people in entertainment. And it's easy for him to inspire me because, you know, I talk to him all the time, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's my uncle. And, like, I'm seeing him make all the movies. Like, I'm seeing him hit rock bottom and shit, come back up and just, like, go stupid.
Yeah, for sure. Because, I got to ask, like, outside of music, because for people that do follow your content, they know that you're going to say, what's it, McPherson?
What's what?
What, the guy that you usually follow?
Oh, Joseph McFashion?
Joseph McFashion.
Right.
But like, instead of, that's what I was like, I'm trying to want to see somebody other than him. But it is interesting because you do have the, like even the way you carry yourself on social media is like, shit's gonna get done. Shit has to get done. Because like, if it's not getting done, like what the fuck am I doing type shit.
Yeah.
Like that's like the type of vibe people get, and we fuck with it. Because it's like, you don't stop, you can't stop. So it's good to see that, like, your uncle put that into you early.
Yeah. Well, if we gon', I owe a lot of that to my parents too. Like,
for sure.
My mama, like, I talk to her every day, probably like 10 times a day now. She's been a lot of help as far as motivating me. But the only thing that I didn't like is that, you know, early on, she always instilled on me that, like, I have to have a job, and I've never just wanted to have a job like that, honestly. So, but, I mean, I had to show her that I'm for real, though, you know what I'm saying? That I'm for real about what I'm having, so, you know, I get help and advice now, but before then, you know, I can't just say, oh, I don't want a job, I want to be my own boss.
It's hard taking help, too.
It's hard.
It's hard.
You gotta, I mean, I had to prove myself to her first, but my mama for sure is probably my biggest motivation, I say, yeah. It's hard to pick, it's a lot of people. A lot of people I talk to motivate me in some type of way.
So it's the people that you constantly communicating with that's putting that positivity on you, that's really motivating you.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. And then...
So then, whenever you can get back to doing what you do, what's the biggest dream? Like, what's the big end goal for you? Like, when you get, I ask people this all the time, you know what I'm saying, where if you're financially comfortable, you ain't got to worry about nothing, and you doing what you do, which is what you love every day, what is that for you?
My end goal. Honestly, I ain't gonna lie, like, I can't really say I have an end goal. Just like he was saying, like, I don't know, I just like to always keep going. Like, the hardest thing for me is, you know what I'm saying, fighting cancer, that I really can't work. Like, that really still bothers me, like, to this day. I don't really have an end goal. I just know that I want to be wealthy, though. And I basically took Joseph McFashion's whole template and brought it to Tennessee, and I see that it works. I mean, he got rich off of it, so I feel like I will. I don't really have no end goal with it, though. But if we're gonna speak on what sleep goals, basically I want to have a somewhat of a control in the market, the music, rap. I want to introduce people to rap in Nashville, Knoxville, and stuff like that. That's why I make those playlists that you've seen. I basically put together playlists of all it's only 25 songs, but, you know, all the artists that I know in Nashville that a lot of people don't know about, but they got some hard-ass music. Some people know about, like, you know what I'm saying, Liquid. People know Liquid, people know Gaines, you know, Fredo, all of them, Trapper Mandel. I'm just thinking off the top of my head. But the goal for What's Sleep is to, you know what I'm saying, put people, it's more than just Memphis. Like, we all know Memphis. They got some hard-ass rappers, like, it's undeniable. Like, shit, they probably the hottest, like, if you go on YouTube and you go on the trending page, shit, you see Big 30, Moneybagg Yo, Gotti, some Paper Route Empire artists, like, and that's like half the list. Like, Memphis is on right now.
Yeah,
but, you know, Memphis, Tennessee, it ain't just Memphis rap. You know, you got Nashville, got some hard ass artists, ABK Gates too. I mean, I can keep going, Listain, and then there's some out in Knoxville. I mean, even that's
surprising.
Go Balls.
Yeah, Knoxville, Chattanooga, Clarksville, Jackson, everywhere. Like, these dudes make some great music. They just have I just noticed that it ain't really no platforms. I mean, even my platform ain't big enough to just, you know, put somebody on.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't really no platforms to, you know, for them to get heard, I guess.
Yeah.
They ain't know about them.
Yeah, I was talking to my boy Ethan earlier, Ethan Mitchell, and one of the things he said that I was like, yeah, like, I respect it. So, like, people will try to get mad if you don't put the biggest people out, and it's like, you already see them all the time. Why do you want to know about them?
Right.
Like, you see them everywhere you go. When you go to someone like you want to sit there, you want to be educated, you want to learn about somebody new, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that's why I appreciate kind of what you do, is because, like I said, I never want to overlook my city. I know how much talent's here, and I want to make sure everybody else in the city knows. And if you don't like it, then look, this ain't your type of show, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm here to put the city on, you know. I'm not here to go just always get the big fish, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you never see, and that's what networking is about, you know what I'm saying? Just because you meet somebody and you do something for them now, doesn't mean you're going to get immediate return. They may not pop today, they may not pop tomorrow, they may not pop till 5 years later, but they're going to always remember how you treated them.
Oh yeah, and there's plenty of artists like that, like today. Shit, I'll give an example. I mean, White Sosa, he'll always fuck with me. It's really a lot of reasons why I got into blogging, but because I feel like I can just tell when, you know what I'm saying, somebody's going to, like, be big. Like, really the majority of the artists I listen to, I started listening to them when they ain't had no fans, and they 100,000 followers up making good money off rap.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, I feel like I be seeing that shit early. You know, White Sosa was one of them. It's a bunch of artists that I can name that, you know what I'm saying, that will always fuck with me because I fuck with them and nobody fuck with them, you know what I'm saying? That's real important to people. It's important to me too.
So I want to ask this too, since we're kind of on the topic of basically being authentic to who you are and where you come from type shit. Who do you feel like was one of the most authentic artists, was always real, kept it, even in their music, even just, you know, how they carry themselves off of what they do, you know what I'm saying, just authentic all around?
I gotta put you on the spot here.
Right now, I'm gonna have somebody I have a relationship with, somebody I know. So the main person that I can think of right now, that he's in a bad situation right now, is probably Hardaway 1K. It's either between Hardaway 1K. He's currently in prison right now. It's either between him and Lil Migo, but I'm gonna have to say Hardaway 1K more. I knew about him, you know what I'm saying, way before. It sucks that he in jail right now because he's a great artist and he actually has a buzz out there in East Tennessee.
Yeah, he's fun.
He did a song with Lil Baby back in like 2018. That's actually how I found out about him. Like right before I started blogging. So it was really kind of perfect time. And then shit, he kept going with that buzz, but you know what I'm saying, unfortunately he's in prison right now. Not sure how long it's gonna be before he get out, but we did do an interview like from jail, like on I think it was on like one of the jail video calls. Shit. I didn't even know they had that, but all the way on the cable show. Shout out to him. I can't wait till we get out because I feel like, well, you got Slats out now. I don't know if you know him. So young dude from Chattanooga. It ain't really too many artists that I know that's from Chattanooga that's actually like won't have no problem saying that from Chattanooga. Because there's a lot of people in the industry that's from Chattanooga that won't even say it. Like I didn't even know Usher was from Chattanooga. I thought that nigga was from the
Wow, that's news to me. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Usher is from Chattanooga. And then you got Isaiah Rashad, but Baby Mother.
He's from here too?
No, well Isaiah Rashad from Chat.
Chat. Oh, okay.
And then there's another artist named Baby Mother. That's really the only artist that just, well, I mean that's all they have.
But yeah, I mean that's why it kind of goes. That's why I love doing what I do, and I know you love doing what you're doing. It's because it's like I'll never want to forget where I came from. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I build authentic people around me, like UL. You know what I'm saying? Ty, TJ. You know what I'm saying? Because I know if I ever start acting like that, they gonna check my ass. They're not gonna let me start acting Hollywood or you know what I'm saying? Because people do that. They get a little clout, they get a little fame, and they start to move different. You know what I'm saying? Even if you've had a long-term relationship with them, and that's something I've always never wanted to become.
Well, guess what? I'm moving different. You can count on me to change. I like to change.
We gonna reel you back in. I ain't letting you change.
So you got out of Nashville, you got a list of artists that people should be looking out for.
As far as like the next 6 months, a year or something like that, or just period.
I would look 6 months to a year. That out there, I'm thinking probably like the next 5 years.
Oh,
you can see them,
okay.
Flying under the radar.
like a Starlito, Young Buck. You know what I'm saying? Who's the next?
Who's next?
Who's gonna be the last face on the Mount Rushmore of the Nashville hip hop?
So from what I'm seeing right now, as far as like the consistency and putting out great music and quality videos, just putting in the work. The number I thought that was gonna be Fredo, but unfortunately he in jail right now too. Like, I ain't never seen nobody from Nashville get that much love, you know what I'm saying, off music, not even Starlito. It's kind of like he had that die-hard fan base here, kind of like how Youngboy got.
It was them young cats. They
all
all went to school together.
It's us. It's a lot of. It's just really just a lot of us. Like, dude just hard as hell to me. I remember the first video he dropped was called 100 Shots. I remember that shit had like 1,500 views, and I was.
You don't fuck with 100K tough.
Yeah,
he's
Yeah, I feel like he's the toughest.
Hell, I played against Tuck in high school.
Really?
He hooped for Canyon Ridge. I played for Hillsborough. So
he did.
When he beefing with homeboy?
Who?
Homeboy you was just talking about.
Was I?
Nah. 100K Tuck was beefing with
Fredo?
Yeah, Fredo.
I think that was Stain.
Because I know who Fredo is. Because he's like semi kind of big.
You think about Stain and 100K Tuck?
Yeah, like something like that. You feel me? It was like something, bro. I seen that shit.
Together. Like the school that I went to and the school that they went to was shit like a 10-minute drive. Like,
yeah.
Canyon Ridge.
Yeah. I used to live out west, you feel me? So I saw them all come up pretty much. Like Gates, 100K Tuck, just that whole crew. Like I fuck with them over there.
Yeah, I fuck with them. I fuck with all of them.
They hard over there. Trapping in there, like that whole side, and nobody fucking with them. Okay. Just me personally.
Yeah, I hate that, you know what I'm saying, they at odds, like, still to this day. But, it is what it is. Oh, but no, hold on, you wanted me to name some artists that I see. Okay.
Give me a list. Give me three.
Man, okay, 3. Well, Fredo for sure. Like, Fredo out of Dallas. Since I'm narrowing it down to 3.
And I know 15 minutes of fame. I'm talking about like
sustaining what they do.
We need some sustainability. We're gonna check that on the word. Solid.
ABK Gates he's definitely. Yeah, definitely. I first linked up with him in 2018.
Yeah,
before
you did.
Yeah,
you did.
So him, Gates, And then, man, if I was to pick one more out of artists, there's so many. Damn,
Man, you might get some backlash, man.
You set him up for the
He said,
Fredo, Gates. I would say Tuck, but I feel like lately he ain't been as consistent. In 2017 and 2018, he was dropping
hard,
back to back, but lately he ain't been dropping like that. That's the only reason why I can't say him.
Right.
He really one of my favorites.
If I made the list 5, he'd be on
Do
there.
y'all fuck with Brian Brown and them?
Yeah, I'm familiar with Brian Brown.
You feel me? Like, I fuck with that side too, though. Like the whole Teen Crew.
Yeah.
You know, that shit, like, I fuck with them because they just be on some, like, professional shit. You feel me? Like, next level shit compared to, like, that side.
It's hard to pick one more, but
Yeah.
maybe, like, I keep thinking in my head, Stain, though.
Mm.
Yeah.
I got a lobby one on my side too though, because I gotta show my boy some love.
Who?
Ethan, King E.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, he's
I
one of
met him
the
at a
most.
video shoot, that's crazy.
Yeah, he's one of the most lyrical, you know, and you know what I'm saying, in a world where today where like everything is hot being an ad lib, everything's hot, you know, faking it until you make it type shit. Like he's always stayed true, stayed authentic, you know what I'm saying? Raps about real shit he goes through, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he's the type of person you throw any style of beat, you know, trap, you know, something to sing on, whatever, he gonna get on there and kill that shit.
Yeah.
Cause we had him out here a couple weeks ago.
Really?
He played one of his beats that he got for him because he does producing as well and stuff like that. So threw a beat on right there. My boy got to writing right there, recorded. And what TJ called him, one take E, first take, killed that shit.
Really?
Killed that shit.
Yeah, I ain't never been in a studio session with him. I think my favorite person, like, to be the studio session to go to is probably my name, Cushy. You familiar with
Facts,
him?
I ain't gonna lie to you.
Cushy studio sessions
Like,
be
he
lit.
like
Facts.
boozy. He just be saying shit, singing shit, and it be hard. I
Like,
love
He's
it.
a vibe.
Yeah.
I ain't-
Y'all know what I'm talking about.
I ain't gonna
Yeah.
cap to you. I was at a studio session with him one time, and my boy Ferg.
Yeah.
So like we was chilling, and then like you ain't got the headphones in, so you just hear niggas rapping.
Yeah.
He's like, "Who's it?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, bro, what the fuck is going on? But then when they play that bitch at the end,
Right.
I'm like, oh shit, I'm in the car. Come on now, hey, Cushy.
Shout out
Keep
Ferg
doing
too, though.
that.
Like you said, yeah, Ferg
Shout out
one of
Ferg,
the
too.
artists that he be working hard, man. He's always going, you know what I'm saying, dropping content. So
Definitely be working for sure.
Yeah, so that's my 3 as far as Nashville.
So, Stain, Fredo, and Gates for sure.
and then almost kind of like to
Same
piggyback off that, like he asked you who you think is up next. Who do you feel like could be if they put the work in? Almost like challenging them to like, yo, get to it. I see talent in you. I see the potential. You gotta see it in yourself. Get back in there and get to it.
Give them the black
No,
man challenge.
that's easy. How many do you want me to name? Cause it's a bunch.
I ain't even gonna. You go ahead. Go crazy.
I name like 5.
Yeah,
Honey
okay,
Cake
5.
Tuck for sure.
Okay.
Honey
I
Cake
agree
Tuck
on
for
that
sure.
too. I miss seeing him go to work.
It's a dude named Pressure 1K
Alright.
from Nashville. Tuck, Pressure. Actually, a friend of mine. His name's Sap Runatawa. He's hard, but he does other things, so he ain't really too focused on the music. Y'all know how that be. Yeah, that's just to name a few. I don't want to just keep trying to think of something. It's a
Yeah, I
whole.
feel that.
It's really a lot of dudes that make music. I mean, they just focus shit and
Sometimes they need that push, man. Like, cause that's like I said, shout out my boy Ethan, but he hadn't recorded for like a year, and I knew, like, he's one of the people. He authentically made. You got the replay that Apple sends out and Spotify sends out your top music from the year or whatever.
yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people support them people because they, that's your homie. You always want to support your homies. But even outside him being my dog, like, he authentically made it. You know what I'm saying? Into my shit. Had like 6 songs in my top 100. Had 1 song in my top 10. You know what I'm saying? Along with all the regular artists I listen to type shit. You know what I'm saying? The hot, big artists that got the name to themselves. You know what I'm saying? So they need that push sometimes too, though. And that's why Ethan knows I'm on his head about that shit, bro. I want you in the booth. You know what I'm saying? Because when you know that's what they love to do, and then you kind of see them take a little time off. Sometimes you need that time off, but
Yeah, for sure.
when people see that talent in you, sometimes you just gotta push them. You gotta push them, and I always want to do that with anybody that's around me. I never want to sit there, and that's why I tell TJ too. Even just as a human being, like I tell TJ all the time, was I wrong here? Was I right here? You know what I'm saying? And keep it real with me. Don't tell me what I want to hear. Tell me what I need to hear.
Yeah, I
And
tell
people
my
need that.
friend all the time.
So what kind of rap do you think is what we buying into right now? Like, do you think like the J. Cole's or would we rather hear like the trap shit? Like what's gonna sell more? Cause
The trap shit always gonna sell
Okay.
more.
Yeah.
Well, from my perspective, yes.
yeah,
What I
cause
see. I mean, it's more young boy and dirt type people than it is Coles that's like big in the industry. You know what I'm
so do you feel like that thinking rap that J. Cole and them do? You think nobody else can get up there until they leave?
They can. You asking what I think?
Yeah, like what do you believe? Because before you answer personally, I feel like Cole, Kendrick, and then Cole and Kendrick probably them two. They got that shit on lock. Like nobody else want to hear no thinking ass rap from nobody else but them. Like, do you think somebody else can slide in there, or it's got to be like some dramatic shit for them to be able to get up there with them?
I mean, I don't know because Corday, YBN Corday.
Yeah.
They say that he makes like that type of music. But
I agree.
he get a lot. For some reason, he get a lot of hate, and I listened to one of his songs and I couldn't understand why.
Yeah.
It's
So I think it's
style.
hard for them to break. I don't know. I think it's hard for them to break in. You know what I'm saying, to the
It
mainstream.
is. I think it's just, for me personally, I feel like you said, it's just more of those young boy dirt type of artists.
Yeah.
So when it is someone that steps outside of that lane, especially like someone like Corday that's like putting a lot of words in his raps,
Yeah.
it's just not going. I mean,
It goes over your head.
it goes over a lot of people's
Yeah.
head, and there's a lot of people ears just not trained to hear stuff like that. Because
Right.
I mean, a majority of what a lot of niggas is listening to is like, you feel me, just simple shit that you feel me,
Yeah.
niggas is rapping.
That sound good over a dope beat. That's it.
But that's why we do what we do, because like that's one of the bigger goals too for me is like the media these days is a part of the reason that happens. You know what I'm saying? They want to promote that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I try to change it. I want to be a better part of the media. I want to promote what's real out
That
there.
shit do be hard though.
Right.
That shit be
Yeah,
hard.
don't.
It's not
yeah,
hard,
That's
don't
what
get me
I'm
wrong.
saying.
That
Don't
shit
get
be
me
hard.
wrong. Yeah, bro. You feel me? That shit be hard though.
That shit do
You
be
feel
hard,
that?
like-
I mean, for
But
sure.
sometimes we do need to knock
I mean,
our brain cells and listen to some cool shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you feel me? I think it's just about appreciating all aspects. You
Very
feel me?
true.
Because I mean, you need a little bit of everything. You
Right.
feel me? And that's why you got everybody, doing what they do. And it should really just be that simple.
So I'm glad he said
You feel me?
that. So appreciating all aspects.
We do need people like y'all though to have opinions, what I mean, and critiques, because you need that too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it's all a good thing,
So with the different aspects,
Mhm.
do you think you could have some EDM, rocks, country music on Whatssleeptv? Or is or you straight up done?
No, I ain't saying that, but see, that kind of goes into like the whole. It's really a format, bro. It's really a
Yeah.
template. If you go to For Show Mag and see how they grew, he grew off of that the Detroit sound that you hear. I mean, that was really all. I think that was really mainly all For Show Mag, really. So if I was to put some EDM or country on my platform, like it wouldn't fit because I'm basically Whatssleep kind of controls the trap rap scene in Nashville, and that's a big market. Like, and once you controlling like a market like that,
There's no big
like
step.
you don't even have to be big. Like, since you kind of controlling that market, not just on some on purpose, like trying to step over everybody monopoly type shit. It's like you actually make a whole lot more. We're talking about money, you will affect a whole lot more versus if you trying to, be a copy of World Star. And plus that'll be a lot harder. So I don't know if I really explained that right. But really controlling the market and like what you know best, or what I know best, that's kind of what I'm gonna stick to until like say I ain't gonna say you ever get too big for it, because I mean shit, what For Show Man got 800K. Elevator, they drop, I ain't gonna say they drop all type of music, but I feel like it's kind of like, it's a lane on Elevator,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? They huge, you know what I'm saying?
Huge.
So,
Because somebody else I think about is Lyrical Lemonade.
yeah, Lyrical Lemonade.
He got to
He
the
got all
point.
type now.
He got to the point where he started just dropping his own shit on his page. So I can see that.
Yeah, so that's why. That's that's really the main reason why I ain't, like, especially not right now while I'm still growing, cause like I'm not big yet. Well, Whatssleeptv is not just like a crazy big platform yet. It's still a whole lot to go.
Yeah, it's still a whole, cause I can see you being on that type shit where as soon as you post it, niggas in like Cali, Florida, Georgia, like everybody trying to retweet on some Tennessee shit. Same way we be following the We Are Georgia page, and same way you follow the For Sure Mag page. Like we trying to tap in. I'm ready for people to tap in and see what the fuck Nashville got going on.
Right. Like, and to change that view too, because it's like, I mean, I don't know about y'all. You go out of town and you tell someone you're from Nashville, they'd be like, "Oh, y'all so country," and it's like,
right.
Have you been anywhere outside of Nashville besides Broadway or something? Like, Broadway's about as country as it's gonna get unless you start going to true country areas. Like Tennessee might be country, but Nashville, nah, not going for it.
Not Nashville.
They'll see that come on their way to Broadway. Yeah, it looks cool on TV.
They all want to buy their little hats and shit,
like,
get their cowboy boots and shit, and it's like, bro, that's not how we roll around Nashville.
Hey, and that the Dirk and Morgan Wallen song didn't make it any better too.
Yep.
People gonna always think Nashville.
So if people look into it and they pay attention, I mean, is Dirk from Nashville?
No, he's from Chicago.
Exactly. So like, I don't understand why people put that on us. That's what I'm saying. So like, people come here and they create this image. They don't never do their research and go, you know, what is Nashville? Let me step outside of Broadway. You know, like I get it, Broadway's fun and all, but like, you want to come experience the city, come experience the city. Then you know what I'm saying? What you come for? You come to see the fake side, the media side, where there's always an agenda and shit like that. Or you gonna go see what's really about?
And that's what that song was. It came straight for the agenda. I think we talked about that on the last show.
Yeah, oh yeah, a lot.
What did he do? He said the N word.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what they say. Morgan Wallen said the N word on some video. What was that, like back in 2020? That's the first time I ever heard of him, and then apparently his stream spiked like a motherfucker after that.
Used our city instead of actually using talent from our city. Just came and used this image.
Is he from here?
No.
I think he's from Knoxville or something. Somewhere in East Tennessee.
We call them other siders.
They call them what?
We call them other siders. The other side of the Cumberland.
Yeah, they ain't from Middle Tennessee, fuck.
Well, what?
I ain't gonna do it like that. Because we gonna have some people that yeah, I ain't gonna do it like that.
But no, yeah, but I mean, it is to highlight the city. That's, you know, we came from here. We didn't come from over there. You know what I'm saying? And it's no shame to them, no knock to them. But you know, if you want to do that in your city. Highlight Chattanooga if you're from Chattanooga. Show your city love. That's what I want people to start doing. Is start being real.
They some sluts.
Hey, can I say this?
If you can't, I can edit it out.
Okay. Sluts coming soon on my podcast. Coming soon.
Oh, okay, I ain't gonna edit that out. You got some shit, man.
Hey,
I thought he was gonna get wild.
I rule the law.
But for now, I'm just a voice. You can't see my face. If that creeps you out, then
You gonna tag you on that or no?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay, I'll tag him then.
That should make you want to watch it more.
There you go.
Definitely tag me on this for sure.
I got you. You know I got you. Hey, show love to the city, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like his connection and how we got back together was that authentic. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, you gotta show love. Come on, man. You can't. You know, my thing is I don't judge people. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's on a serious topic. I'm usually not that serious, but on a serious topic, I don't judge people, and I just choose to accept people for who they are. And you gotta show love to sluts too. Even though that does sound funny and we are gonna laugh, but for real,
no,
you know what I mean? Like, because
everybody,
we all struggle with stuff, and people still love us for who we are. Mm-hmm. And you know, people could say the same thing about me in many different ways, you know, and they still choose to love me. So why not? You know.
I mean, I tell them all the time, being normal is fucking whack now. Fuck that. Stand out. Be unique. Be you.
I wasn't slut shaming, by the way.
Well, shit, while you talking about being accepted and being you, and we on Tennessee shit, how y'all feel about the Isaiah Rashad shit that you feel me, went on recently?
What happened?
Inform us.
Inform us.
Oh, what?
No.
Yeah, I know Kyree knows.
Yeah.
Inform us. We lost.
That
look,
crew.
Inform us.
They leaked the. Well, I ain't gonna say they. I don't know who leaked this shit, but someone leaked a video of Isaiah Rashad, giving another man fellatio.
Two of them.
Well, he was getting head from.
He was the one.
If you want to live like that, let him live like that.
I mean, is he open about his shit?
No.
Nah.
That's tough.
You know what? That doesn't surprise me about him.
And that's what I said.
It doesn't surprise me. See, because I know, because the thing about artists is that they're creatives.
Right.
So like when you see a creative, they're usually, especially men, they're very artistic.
Right.
They're very feminine based. Just because they have to be in that, like to be artistic, you have to be able to
Understand.
Put
be
yourself
in
in that
touch
place.
with your emotions.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and a lot of people can't accept that, so a lot of people hide behind it. Like, and I know for me, being a producer and being an artist, when people see me all the time, they be like, bro, like, are you gay? Just because I wear my clothes how I wear my shorts, I do what I do, and I'm just like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just a creative. Right. Like, and I don't take it personal, but it definitely doesn't surprise me when I see somebody else and they turn out to be, I'm like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's like the little shit that some people be doing, like the
well, I mean, when he fucking shaved his head and got the fucking, you know what I mean, the nose ring and shit, I was like,
and then like for me personally, not to try and like get too deep, but like I done heard like of like times when he done came to Nashville and been around certain people, and I done heard stories of what done happened in them situations, and you feel me, just like kind of like, which I don't think he done talked about like his issues with alcohol and shit like that before. Mm-hmm. So I can kind of, not that you feel me, just throw that on him like that, but I can kind of correlate those things, and like I said, a couple of other things that I'm not just gonna get too specific into that I've heard. It don't surprise me. I could like I'm not saying that I thought that, but when it came out, I'm okay.
Yeah, okay, right. Like,
I can kind of see that.
Yeah.
Like, and I'll say this too. Hey, man, I think this is a little preview for the future, for me at least, because these are the type of topics that I want to talk about on my podcast. Like, and I'm helping him out with his podcast because he's actually showing me how to subconsciously run a podcast without you probably even knowing it. But like a lot of men though have a hard time expressing themselves. Yeah. So I'm not surprised that he wouldn't say anything, or like most men don't.
You made a post, what was it, not too long ago, or you got something on your story where, you know, why would men come out and talk about their feelings or their mental health? And every time they do, they become a meme.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's fact.
You know what I'm saying? Or like a joke to their friends. You know what I'm saying?
In society, we're not supposed to.
Right.
When we do talk about it, we soft. Everybody's just like, get over it. You being a bitch. You like, and then when you hold on to it, like what you was talking about, them headaches and shit starts building up. Like you said, the body knows, bro.
You hold it in.
So
yeah, man. Like you made me think that cancer was, like, and I say this respectfully. I swear. I'm on a song. I said, like, you made me see that cancer is a mind game too. Mm-hmm. Like, and I really see that because I'm a big believer in God, so I know that it's all a mental game anyway. Mm-hmm. So I believe that, like, damn, you could overcome cancer with the belief of wanting to overcome it, and that could power you in so many ways. But it starts in the mind first. Mm-hmm. So that's like the stimulus to everything. So it's like, damn, you know what I mean? That's pretty cool. You know what I mean? That the mind and the body can react that way, and you can like heal yourself. That's fucking like.
I mean, it's sad. The sad part about it is too is that the people are the only ones that made this become something that we got to start talking about mental health. The government didn't do that. They don't want us to be happy. They don't want us to be doing well and be healthy. You know what I'm saying?
Keep selling them pills.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? They try to get them hooked and stuff.
They had niggas drinking milk on a regular basis.
Yep.
That's how I'm believing it. That humans not supposed to drink milk. Yep. By the way, from
not cow milk.
I ain't drink milk.
Cause think about it, bro. Like who all in here lactose intolerant? Like if I drink milk, it's over with. The same way if you eat a bad rib or a bad hamburger, it's over with. Yep. Like, I ain't even get into what's happening, but it's over with.
But that's why it's up to people like us.
Milkshake though.
Push that number because the government's not going to inform nobody on what's going to be good for you and stuff like that, and they going to, you know, I won't get too crazy and deep onto like COVID and stuff like that, but that's, you know, they're pushing that on people, and it's like it's a choice, man. You gotta let people start deciding and start educate themselves and look deeper into it and quit, you know, letting the media push things a certain way and then divide people. You know what I'm saying? So, just my opinions. Won't go too deep on that. We'll eventually probably do a whole episode on that, on COVID. Because I don't want nobody to sit there and feel like, you know, there's people that have passed from COVID and had loved ones they lost, and I don't never want nobody to sit there and think that means I think that COVID doesn't exist. Like, it's real, you know what I'm saying? But your choice is real too. That's how I kind of want to, I guess I'll leave it at that, you know what I'm saying? But, for sure.
So you got anything else for?
No, not unless I mean, is there anything that you feel like we didn't tap into that you want to make sure you get out and talk to the people about? Because, you know, I want you to have your platform because, you know, you said you ain't going to be able to do too much for a while. And I want to make sure you get everything from this interview. That's why I do this kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying? I want people to be able to have that voice.
No, not really. I mean, we went over a lot, so I feel like y'all covered everything. But I do want to say that, you know, throughout all this time, like, mentally, I think dealing with cancer, that's probably the hardest part. So I think it helped the fact that, you know what I'm saying, I made it public that, you know what I'm saying, I'm about to go through this because, you know what I'm saying, I got a lot of support from it. So I appreciate everybody that reached out to me, you know, just to show their support for me, show their condolences or whatever. Because it might not seem like a lot, but like every one helped. Like I feel like I remember every message everybody sent to me, even though it's been so much, because like that shit really helped for real. Like if I was just, man, like I don't know, I don't see how people go through it alone. Like I for sure gotta give a shout out to my mom because she done a lot of things that made this a lot easier. Like this could be a lot harder. And for sure my girlfriend because I mean, she lived with me, so she probably had to deal with it the most. My mom and my girlfriend, they know how hard it's been on me. I don't make too much of it public, but like for sure, mentally it's the hardest. And those two, they for sure like made it a lot easier on me, for real. Yeah. And then as far as like, yeah, I mean, I can't just say that. Besides them two, I can't just say more people have been more help. But I did. There was a lot of people that like I kind of like stopped talking to even like after all this shit started. But like the mental people showing their support really helped like my mental a lot. Is probably the main reason why it seems like it don't bother me. Like it for sure does. Mm-hmm. But like I said, I try my best to just, you know what I'm saying, keep going. Yeah. Because, I mean, shit, people always say, like, you ain't gonna get put through nothing that you can't get through. Like, I'm not gonna lie, in the beginning, I remember the first week I had chemo, I had to go get fucking chemotherapy 4 times a week. And, you know, it's 5 days in the work week. And, like, I told my girlfriend straight up, I was like, bro, I ain't gonna lie, I don't think my body's gonna make it through. Like I really said that, and I brought that up to her like 2 weeks ago. I was like, you remember I said this? Because it's crazy because shit, like 6 months later, like shit, I got 24 more days before I can say that I don't have to do chemotherapy no more. And then, you know, I will have to, you know, deal with the side effects and still go to the doctor for a good 6 months. But as far as like the cancer being in my body, like that shit's gone. Like I'm gonna keep it real. I honestly, like, I ain't never in my life knew nobody from cancer. Anytime I ever heard cancer, I heard it's from people dying. So I honestly thought I wasn't gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Plus, like, I'm young. Like, I ain't never heard nobody, you know what I'm saying, hit their 20s and then, like, they had cancer. So I just honestly thought I wasn't gonna make it. Yeah. But I did. So it's anybody that's going through that, or just, you don't have to be cancer, any type of like life-threatening disease, you know what I'm saying? I think you gotta believe that you're gonna make that shit, because if you don't, like, you're not gonna do the things you need to do. You're not gonna listen to your doctor because you ain't gonna feel like you're gonna make it through. Listening to these doctors, like, they know what they're talking about, doing what they say, that for sure like helps a lot in like like I said, it's really mainly the shit is mental for real. 'Cause if your mental ain't right, you ain't gonna do the things you gonna need to do to survive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, that's really all I gotta say. I just want to say too, I appreciate y'all for y'all time. Like, and I appreciate y'all for working with me because I know how difficult it is. You know what I'm saying? Trying to even just set up interviews. And, you know, you got people that cancel on you live. That's not abnormal with interviews, really. So I appreciate y'all for taking the time out to, you know what I'm saying, do this.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, like, I'll make sure, like, same vice versa, you know what I'm saying? Like, we truly appreciate you. You know, I know you're a humble person, but a lot of people do know about you, you know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people would have loved to sit there and get an opportunity to do what they do with you. And so, for you to select us, like, I'm honored for real, like, you know what I'm saying? This is why I do what I do, because I work my ass off in this shit. And I know UL, TJ, like, I can't do this type of shit without them, you know what I'm saying? So, we work hard so that we can get to the point where we quit our day jobs. And so to do something like that, and, you know, I'm not going to sit there and act like our numbers aren't good. You know, our numbers are good, but they're getting there. To have someone that's, you know, ahead of us consider us, you know what I'm saying? It's motivation to keep going, you know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you picking us, bro, for real.
Sure, thank you, man.
With that being said, you know what I'm saying, we'll go ahead and get out of here. Make sure y'all follow the Mind Podcast on YouTube at The Mind Podcast. Like, subscribe, comment. You want to see more episodes of this, you don't want it weekly, you want it twice a week, that's how you're going to get us there, you know what I'm saying? That type of love really does help us, you know, get sponsors and all that kind of stuff. If you're someone that wants to be sponsored, reach out to us, you know what I'm saying? Mainly people from the city. Like I said, we're trying to highlight the city. But you can get us on Instagram as well at more.in.depth. You want to go ahead and throw your socials out there one more time too, so they make sure they follow you?
Yeah, so you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. That's where I'm really most active. Kyree Thomas _ is KYREETHOMAS _ Instagram and Twitter. That's what I'm most active on. And then I post vlogs on YouTube. I post reactions to music videos and on YouTube and stuff. And then as far as my media platform, Whatssleeptv, I mean, it's all Whatssleeptv on every platform you can think of. TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, shit, everything. Well, the only thing I don't really use is Snapchat. I don't really fuck with Snapchat. But hey, you forgot to mention though, whenever y'all subscribe, y'all gotta hit the notification bell so y'all, you know what I'm saying, every time y'all drop it,
Noti gang.
straight to y'all phone.
Might have to do a giveaway for the Noti gang.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? But look, y'all didn't know, now you know.
Yeah.
Website coming soon as well.
For sure, all socials we trying to get there, man. We learning. We growing.
As a team, that's how it
For
works.
sure. Alright, man, I appreciate everybody's time today, man. Love.
In a really right mood. In a really right mood. Huh, Al? Why don't we find out?